So a couple years ago, I visited Sweden's second ugliest city, which was Västerås. But it's been 2 years and I've been curious the entire time, what's the #1 city? So today, I'm in Borlänge.
That's right, I'm back on the road to explore another Swedish city for the first time. This time around, I went to Borlänge, located in the region of Dalarna. Before my visit, I only knew 2 things about Borlänge. 1, that's where my roommate is from, and 2, it's famously known as Sweden's ugliest city.
Borlänge är Sveriges fullaste stad.
I'm not kidding, there's a list.
That is kind of ugly. Is this why it's the ugliest city?
Now, if you saw my visit to Västerås, you may remember that I had an okay time. For being Sweden's second ugliest city, I actually thought it was fine. Stadsparken was really beautiful, and there were some nice views along the water. However, the city hall was an eyesore, and the castle was underwhelming to say the least. So, is Borlänge uglier than Västerås? I was excited to find out. For our first stop, we headed into the city center.
Sundays you can park for free.
Nice.
That's a pro. I take that, Stockholm.
Yeah, take that.
After we parked for free, we headed towards Sveatorget, which is one of the main squares in Borlänge. I was mostly excited for the dollar statues.
Dollar horses.
But apparently, the most important part of this square is Paprikan, which is this sculpture that's in the center.
That's supposed to be a giant pepper?
Yep.
Now, I did some research on this sculpture. It was created by Swedish artist Axel Nordell sometime in the 1970s. It seems like playground sculptures are one of his specialties, and that's when I saw this photo. When I saw this photo, I thought it looked suspiciously similar to the sculpture that's on Stockholm University's campus, which looks like a giant blue tongue. But no, the blue tongue sculpture is actually called Moby Dick and was created by a guy named Johan Palsov in 2004. So it has absolutely nothing to do with Paprikan, Elefanten, or Axel Nordell at all. But now you know a little bit more about Paprikan and the blue tongue sculpture on Stockholm University's campus.
This is really scary.
Go, go, go.
Why is it so steep? I don't want to do it. I want to okay.
Go, Megan, go.
So steep. I have to know that one.
So apparently this is the square where people go to go out. We got a Pinchos, O'Leary's, pictures, the library, Basta. I've heard good things about Basta. So far, I'm liking the dollar horses, the red pepper, mixed reviews. After visiting the main square, we headed over to Lilla Kvistska Parken. So I haven't mentioned yet that we are here during Midsummer weekend, and it's a Sunday, so it does seem really dead outside. But I do think those are the reasons. Midsummer, Sunday. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure I explained that before you guys are like, wow, there's really nothing going on. But so far, would I say it's the ugliest city? No. But to be fair, I don't know which one I would say is the ugliest. You know what I mean?
Avesta maybe.
Avesta. Ooh, we're throwing shade. We're throwing shade at Avesta. next city, Avesta. I was a little bit confused about the name of the park since I'm used to most cities just having a stadspark.
There's some people.
But it turns out this is the city park for Borlänge.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna say Stadsparken is looking okay.
I think they invested a lot in this. It didn't look like this before.
Oh, well, good. I mean, see, this is why I like when the Stadsparken. Oh, whoa, okay.
I thought this park was great and definitely not the ugliest city park I've seen. That award goes to the Stadspark in Kristinehamn. Sorry guys, but I went to Kristinehamn last year and filmed my trip I never got around to making the video, although I'm sure I still have that footage somewhere if you guys want to see it. But anyway, Kristinehamn has the worst city park I've ever seen.
You guys, I'm so far loving Borlänge. We got a nice little rock maze.
The park in Borlänge did have some questionable statues.
I just feel like if someone made this statue and dedicated it to me, I'd be like, thanks.
But it had lots of areas for sitting, some flower gardens, and a decent-sized playground.
A little shipwreck. That thing, which is probably way too hot to touch right now.
Okay, we found one of these. I'm trying to touch it and look at the... We're gonna see what Cecilia has to say.
What the?
Oh my gosh. I thought you'd say something way cooler than that. Overall, I was really impressed with the park.
Welcome to Borlänge!
It was pretty small compared to Västerås and Örebro, but the city is a lot smaller as well. Borlänge has a population of over 50,000 people, Västerås has about 127,000, and Örebro has 150,000.
That's cute.
After Stadsparken, we hit the road and drove to a popular lunch spot called Torsson's Cafe. And you guys, this is where things get serious. The cafe was located on the river, so the view was really nice, plus there was lots of seating outside. But the main reason we came here was to try a food that's popular in the area. And that food is horse meat.
So apparently, I've heard that this is a food that's common in this region, and that is horse meat. And I looked it up because I was like, isn't horse meat illegal in the States? And it is. So I'm very uncomfortable with the fact that this is in front of me. The other food I don't really care for is shrimp and seafood. This combination. I am willing to try a bite, but as you can tell, I'm not the one who ordered this. I got my lovely taco pie here. And I'm very excited with how this looks. This one, I don't know, but I'll be willing to test it out.
After doing a bit more research, it looks like horse meat is illegal to sell and consume in the US. However, there are still slaughterhouses in the US, and the US is one of the top 10 exporters of horse meat. So, I don't know, you guys. I don't understand the laws around horse meat. All I know is that horse meat is not a thing in the States, so I was very shocked to find out that it is a thing here in Sweden.
All right, Cecilia has prepared me the perfect bite. It has a little bit of everything, including the horse meat. I can't even say it with a straight face. There's a chunk of egg flying out here. All right, this is a huge bite.
I have heard from multiple people that horse meat is specific or very special to this region of Sweden and might not necessarily be common in all of Sweden.
I really couldn't taste the meat, so I'll just do that on its own here.
But I'd love to hear from all the Swedes in the comments. Have you had horse meat, or is it specific to Dalarna?
I hate that I think it's okay. It's okay. I don't know, there's a weird aftertaste. And it's a mental thing. I hate knowing that it's horse. It's weird. I don't know.
What do you think the name was?
It's actually called like Hästkorv.
No, the name of the horse.
The name of the horse? No.
So, yeah. The horse meat actually tasted fine. I would say it was pretty similar to deer meat. But it was just that weird mental block of growing up my entire life thinking that horse meat is not okay.
Not into the toilet seats.
It's so gross. Oh, this is fun.
After trying the horse meat, we headed back into town to see Gammelgården. I'm not sure how common it is for Swedish towns to have a traditional, historic area, but in Örebro, they had one very similar called Vadköping. I've also seen these types of houses in Skansen, located in Stockholm, and I've also seen them all the way up in Gammelstad, which is north of Luleå. As we entered Gammelgården, the first thing we saw was the midsummer pole. I tried my best to find any information about this midsummer pole specifically. I do know that the general midsummer pole is meant to symbolize fertility.
They go all out on their midsommarstång, heter det?
And it may be a bit more phallic than people realize, but the one in Borlänge had all of these extra symbols.
And then there's a big old rooster at the top and the Swedish flag. There's a lot to process. Do we know what any of this means? I'm gonna have to look it up.
I tried to find the answer for it online, but every search result came up empty. So if you happen to know what all of these symbols mean, please let me know in the comments. Now, one of the main traditions with a midsummer's pole is to dance around it.
What's the dance? You just do this the whole time?
Yeah. Små grodorna, små grodorna.
That's it. There's no different.
I did it when I was small. Like I was very tiny kid.
Okay, so
I don't remember the dance.
For everyone watching, Midsummer was a couple days ago, and I had no idea how big some of these parties can be.
Oh, they're huge.
And I will put some footage of how many people are going around the pole. It was shocking. So anyway, they just slowly go around a circle.
And
sing,
dance.
And dance.
And then they sing like kuakaka, kuakaka, kuakaka.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything, it's just rubbish.
That doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's Danish.
We walked over to the area with the red houses, and even though I have seen houses like this in other cities, I always enjoy seeing them. I just can't comprehend how old some of these houses are, specifically the ones that aren't painted red.
How old is this one?
This is from 1500.
From the 1500s?
Yeah.
I can't comprehend it, you guys.
Here in 1920.
And like what's really crazy is like the doorways are tiny. There might be a reason why they're so small, but Swedes are tall, so
I just can't comprehend that 400 to 500 years ago, there were literally people living in this house. And I wish I could have seen the inside, because seeing how small the doors were and the fact that it's a 2-story house, it did make me wonder what was it like inside and what was life like back then. We walked around a bit more before heading out to our second to last stop, Stora Tuna Kyrka. And if I'm not mistaken, that literally means Big Tuna Church.
I don't want to do that.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, by the way, we're in front of a big old church. Yeah, oh, I got a little bit too close. It's hard to see. I should zoom out.
This was the only footage I got of the outside of the church, so luckily I found this amazing drone footage on YouTube, which really shows how beautiful the church is from the outside. The church was open, so we got to head inside. I did a little bit of research and found out that the church was built in 1469. Clearly it's been updated since then, and it looks like the most recent update was in 1968. I learned that from this video posted almost 13 years ago.
Därefter har kyrkan genomgått en del restaureringar. Den senaste utfördes 1968.
Can I just ask, why did someone put in so much work into a 3D rendering when you could just film the actual church? Not quite sure what the purpose of the 3D animation is, but clearly someone put in a lot of time, so I'm glad I get to show you guys what I found. The last stop of the day was Frostbrunnsdalens Naturreservat. Luckily, it was just across from the church, so we headed down the path to where there was a cafe and some fresh drinking water, which Cecilia insisted that I tried.
That's pretty good. That was really good.
Before heading to the cafe, we spotted some ducks. And then we went down the path a little bit farther so that we could see the suspension bridge, which I tried to find more information on, but I couldn't really find anything. Cecilia thought I should really see this bridge, so that's what we did. It was a pretty nice view, but the bugs were getting out of control, so we headed back towards the cafe. We ordered some gelato and sat outside to enjoy the weather, and afterwards we headed back to the water spot to get a closer look. The water was pretty shallow, so I wanted to walk in it a bit, but Cecilia thought I actually might start sinking into the sand, and that's when we spotted this.
Ew, it makes me uncomfortable. Ew, I can see it in the camera. So, why is it doing that? What is happening? Does it just sink down?
Yeah. It's
What
like air from down under.
Lucky for us, all of our questions were answered by this very helpful sign that was at the top of the hill. I say it answered all of my questions, but I'll be honest, I don't know what some of these words mean, and I don't even understand their description. I think it's saying that there's a pipe that's under the sand, and there's a lot of pressure, so that's why there are some bubbles that are coming up.
Let's go.
Ew! I don't know, like poops it out.
Can anyone confirm? And that wrapped up my day trip to Borlänge. So, is Borlänge the ugliest city in Sweden? I'm just gonna go ahead and say no. But here's something no one's talking about. Why isn't there an updated list? The one list that everyone keeps referencing is from 2018. So I say let's get a new debate going in the comments section. I've now made videos about Västerås and Borlänge, supposedly the top 2 ugliest cities in Sweden, but I'm just not convinced that they should still be the top 2. So let's have a debate right here in the comments. Cast your vote for the ugliest city in the comments below, and who knows, maybe we'll have a new list of the ugliest cities in Sweden, and maybe I'll have some new cities added to my travel plans. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate if you can like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Hej då!
Bestående...
I don't know.
You don't know what that means either?
No.
Oh, alright.